brother versus little brother. Well, sort of. This is the 2025 Ford Ranger Raptor versus the 2025 Ford F-150 Lariat short wheelbase. So it's not F-150 Raptor versus Ranger Raptor, but they are very similar, especially when you start looking at the specs. The Raptor features a 3-litre twin-turbo V6 petrol engine. The F-150 features a 3.5-litre twin-turbo petrol V6 as well. 292 kilowatts and 583 Newton meters for the Raptor, and 298 kilowatts and 678 Newton meters for the F-150. Looking at the power to weight ratios, the Raptor weighs 2,479 kilograms curb weight, the F-150 2,535 kilograms curb weight. That means the power to weight ratios are very, very close. 117.7 kilowatts per tonne versus 117.5 kilowatts per tonne. Doesn't get much closer than this. Both of these are very quick utes or pickup trucks, but we'll see how we go. I've already tested the F-150 XLT, and that was really quick, but I thought I'd pitch the Raptor up against the top spec Lariat version. As usual, I'm going to set up the tripod at 3 different spots down this private road for the full quarter mile, including about the midway point and then roughly around the finish line. And then the results at the end are the best results from the V-Box. Regardless of what the footage looks like, they're the best results. So I do multiple runs in both. They're the best results from the V-Box. I'm going to try out different modes in the Raptor during the full test, and for this run I'll just do the quickest setup, and I'm pretty sure from memory it's just in sport mode. The Baja mode locks the differentials and stuff, and I think it just adds just that tiny bit more driveline load. It's not actually quicker, but I'm talking fractions of a second. You could sit here all day and in the same mode and you'll get pretty much a different result every time, like in any vehicle. Let's see how they go. There we go, the results don't get much closer than that, do they? The Raptor just gets there in the end by roughly 0.2 of a second. As I said, you could sit here all day and you'll get a different result, even the same method, same takeoff method or whatever, it'll always get a slightly different result. It is colder today, so there's a slight advantage to the Raptor. It was about 7 or 8 degrees during the V-Box portion of the testing, and then it slowly warmed up to about 8 or 9 by the time I did the recordings from the outside. Taking a look at some other details though, the Raptor is much cheaper than the F-150. $90,690 for the Raptor, $139,950 for the F-150. So yeah, you're probably not going to be cross-shopping between these. I mean, you might be, but let's have a look at some other figures. Fuel consumption, 11.5 litres per 100 in the Raptor, 12.5 in the F-150. But interestingly, they both have a highway consumption of 10 litres per 100 kilometres. So I've experienced lower figures in the F-150. It's able to cruise a bit better. Those big chunky tyres on the Raptor obviously wouldn't help on the highway either, but just might be worth keeping in mind. 80 litre fuel tank in the Raptor, 136 litre fuel tank in the F-150. That means a theoretical range, so based on the official consumption average, 696 kilometres in the Raptor and 1,088 kilometres in the F-150. So if you are looking to do a lot of travelling and so on, the F-150 I think is the pick. It's they're both very comfortable actually. The Raptor is got Fox racing suspension and so on. I think it is a little bit firmer than the old or the first generation Raptor. This got like a Series 2 version of the Fox suspension. I think this is a little bit more hardcore. It might be better going off jumps and so on, but it's not quite as refined or as comfortable as the first gen Raptor, but still very comfortable, especially for the Ute class. And the F-150 is, yeah, it's probably a little bit more jiggly at the back, like it's able to tow more, obviously. I'll get to that in a second. But still very comfortable. Both quite comfortable, but I think I would give the Raptor the overall win for the, yeah, just absolute comfort, going over rough country roads and so on, but still both very comfortable. Obviously the Raptor is made for off-roading, so it's going to be better for that. If you're looking to do lots of off-roading, yeah, you can't go wrong with the Raptor. In terms of the towing and everything, the Raptor is only rated at 2.5 tons because of the Fox suspension, whereas the F-150 is 4.5 tons. But if you have a look at the payloads, they're pretty similar. You've got 651 kilograms in the Raptor and 685 kilograms in the F-150. That's mainly due to the GVMs. So 3,130 kilograms in the Raptor, 3,220 kilograms in the F-150. So with the F-150 being quite a bit heavier, yeah, you've got kind of a similar payload. But you've got to keep in mind that you can tow 4.5 tons. So anything you cannot put in the vehicle, like as in you'll start to exceed the payload, you can hook up a 3.5 ton or 3 ton trailer and still load that up with a fair bit of gear as well if you need to. What would I pick out of these two? It's got to be the Raptor. It's just so much fun. You know, there's a lot of Utes coming out at the moment that are inspiring or aspiring to be like the Raptor. This is the real deal. This is where they all sort of look up to. It can do everything. It can take you to the shops. It can take you out to a night in the town and with dinner or whatever, wash it up and it looks pretty cool. Or you can go out rallying and actually go off-road, go off jumps and have some fun playing around with the different drive modes. Although I do have a soft spot for that F-150. I love the XLT. It really hauls, as you might have seen in the original test. It's actually a little bit quicker than this Lariat that we just tested. So if you want absolute speed and you want the F-150 in Australia, then the XLT is slightly quicker in the short wheelbase form. Let me know what you think. What would you take out of these two if price wasn't included in the weighing up scenario?